Hey guys. All right, today for our writing game, we are going to play something kind of similar to what we did last time, which was random word haikus. These are, or out of the hat haikus. These are random word couplets. So a couplet is 2 lines of poetry that rhyme. It's really probably the most familiar form of poetry that you were around. A lot of songs work like this. Green eggs and ham. I do not like green eggs and ham. I do not like them. Sam I am is a couplet. And the way couplets work is the end of the word. So here's your eggs and ham. Sam I am. And we have these 2 lines right here. That is a couplet. So 2 lines that rhyme. And a couplet style poem follows a rhyme structure like this. These 2 lines rhyme. These 2 lines rhyme. These 2 lines rhyme. These 2 lines rhyme, and so forth and so on. You can have poems that are 2 lines. You can have poems that are 2,000 lines. Doesn't really matter except for just how long they end up being, but that's a couplet. Couplet style things tend to work with a thing called iambic pentameter. Iambic pentameter, which is a way of saying you have 10 syllables on a line and they go from stressed to not stressed. So as you are speaking, a thing that is in iambic pentameter will be like this. And what happens is that there is a bounciness to it. Most of the words that we speak follow iams. And iam is a 2-syllable thing that does that. So as you're talking, a lot of times you end up speaking in iambic pentameter and you do not even know it. That's what Shakespeare wrote in. And really what you're doing here is you just have 10 syllables that kind of have a pattern to them. That's a really common one. Another one is kind of an alternating syllables. So you have like a 10 and then you go 8 and you go 10 and then 8, or maybe a 6, 4, 6, 4. So those are the basics of the things that we need to have. So if we're going to write a poem, we need a topic, and we need words, and we need a rhythm. Because poetry is like music. I'm gonna go grab a guitar. Or rather, couplets work really well with music because they tend to have rhythms. So in music, you have different rhythms, you have different beats. And those different rhythms and different beats are what tell you when to play and how it goes. So like a really simple one would just be 4/4. 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4. Or maybe 3. 1 2 3 Or maybe it's like 6. 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6 Whatever. This is why a lot of music is written as couplets or with some sort of iambic pentameter or with a 4-beat structure with the lines or something like that. It's kind of like rap music. If you like rap music, you probably like this. If you like other music that rhymes occasionally, if you like pop music, it's probably this. If you like if you like the Beatles, it's this. Beatles are great at this. It's catchy, it's fun, and it works. So, what are we going to do today to mess this up? Well, we're going to play around with some random words. So just like last time, I'm going to throw 3 levels of difficulty. Now, what I want with this, level 1, level 2, level 3. Level 1 would be a 4-line poem. Level 2 would be a 6-line poem. And level 3 would be an 8-line poem. Now, the thing is each line has one random word that we don't choose. We're going to use this here random generator right over here on the screen. Sometimes I forget when I point at it. You don't see my finger, but it's right here, random word generator, and we're going to put that there. So you'd have 4 random words on a level 1, you'd have 6 random words on a level 2, and you'd have 8 random words on a level 3. I'm going to attempt a level 3 because I'm the teacher. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to come up with 8 random words. Now you can do this all at one time. You can maybe give yourself some stuff, so like the last letter is always the same, or the first letter is always the same. If you want to do that, that might make it a little easier to rhyme. Like if you have the last letters R, I might pull up 8 of them. Filter, writer, grandmother, tower, porter, voter, number, caller. They all rhyme. If you want to give yourself a little bit of a heads up, you can do that. Let's try to make this as hard as possible. I'm not going to have any of those things. Word by size equals, nope, I'm not going to do any of those. Just random words. Oh boy. So I have park, design, fold, sacrifice, bear, he, yay, an easy one. Now not an easy one. Requirement, compensation. Okay. Now, why did I choose a level 3 for the 8 words? Because it will be difficult. I'm gonna have to work on this. So the problem is I have random words, and now I need a topic. I need to have some sort of thing that links all of these together. Once again, this is about connections. You'll notice that a lot of what I have been talking about the last few days is about making connections in between things and showing us how are things interconnected. This is a form of this is creativity. I'm gonna have to be creative to figure out how park and compensation and bear, I can see something here, I can see something here, I can see something here, I can see a few things here, but how to make them all work together is going to be kind of tough. So what I'm going to do, and I'll probably throw this into speed mode so you don't have to watch me brainstorm for 12 minutes, but I'm going to brainstorm words. I'm going to put a circle around each one of these, and I could do this on separate papers. I'm going to try and do it on one paper. And I'm going to just brainstorm words that come to my mind the moment when I think of this. And then I'm going to see if I see the same words pull up or the same ideas pull up. Eventually, I think I'm going to have an idea for a topic. So, fast forward mode. Here I go. Park. Okay, I have a plan. So, this is kind of a weird poem that I have. So here's the train of thought that I have gone through. So, had this idea of the topic is like ancient rituals. And back in the day, there would be, like, let's say you would make a sacrifice to the gods. And sometimes that would be a human sacrifice. Sometimes this would be a requirement to get into the thing, or a compensation to make up for some sort of debt. This would all be some sort of design by the gods to get you into the fold. Now, what could be the sacrifice? A bear. Now, I don't think we're going to sacrifice a bear. I think we're going to sacrifice something to a bear, so I'm going to write a couplet poem that rhymes about bear sacrifice because of randomness. Yay. I don't know if this is going to be serious or silly. So now that I have these things, I'm going to kind of try and think of the order in which that I want to put these in. So for me, he can go anywhere. So I'll just throw that in any line where I need it. I think if I need to kind of set this up. So I might go fold, design, compensation, requirement, sacrifice. Park's going to be in here somewhere. Park and fold. And I'll put he somewhere. And that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm missing. I got them all. Okay, cool. So now I kind of have a plan of what I'm going to do. Now I'm just going to write. I'm going to try to write my first line. I'm going to try and make this like. I'm going to try to end this with the word fold. Why? Because it's the only word that I know. In times, in ancient times, to appease gods of old. Okay, so I moved old there, but I can make no, nope, don't like that. So in ancient times, to become part of the fold, one must complete a godly design. So I've got design, I've got fold, and I'm going to have fold, and I'm going to use the word old here. Complete a godly design. I might end up being fast forwarding through this. Okay, so I got two. I got design here, I got fold. Now, I don't know words that rhyme with compensation. I kind of want to end my thing with compensation. You'll notice that what I'm doing here is I'm looking at each word that I want to put in this. And I don't necessarily, like fold and old were easy to figure out what to do. I didn't want to rhyme anything with design, but I think I can rhyme something with compensation. But I'm not entirely sure what to do there. So I'm going to pull out ye old rhyming dictionary. I've linked this as well. I'm going to put the word compensation in there. And now I'm going to look at words that rhyme with it. I'm going to see if there's any of these. All right, so I got compensation, and I'm going to make a list. Nation, station, fixation, cremation, donation, what else do I got? Placation. Okay. I think I want to use placation or maybe starvation. The gods demanded so now I have two of them. Now normally I write silly poems. What I like about this right now is this is challenging me. This is outside of my normal area because I'm having to throw in words that are difficult. I still have bear. I still have park. Sacrifice. I've used fold. So I'm going to come back to this guy right here. And I'm just going to go, I got sacrifice. I got requirement. No, do I have sacrifice? No, I don't have sacrifice. I don't have sacrifice. No. I have requirement. I have compensation. I have fold. And I have design. All right. If you're seeing me do this type of thing, it's because I'm counting syllables. Okay, so I'm a little stuck right here. Now sometimes if you get stuck, you might want to think of your next line and what you want to have with your rhymes. Rhymes are generally pretty good because they can help you with this. So if I have sacrifice here, I want he or I want bear. Let's see if I can rhyme with bear, because I have to keep bear in here. So let's go to the Yield Rhyming Dictionary and pull up bear. And for bear, let's make my list of words that rhyme. I always like to make a bank of lists of words that rhyme. Bear, air, rare, scare, spare. Spare seems like it might work. Scare seems like it might work. Prayer. Okay. A sacrifice. Person, and I don't know if that's where it was, fed to a bear. All right. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I got 2 words left. I have he and I have park. So he is my kind of trump card, and I can throw it in wherever I want. Park. So I don't really know where I'm going to go with that right now, so I'm just going to come up with ideas. So I'm going to throw the word park in here, and you'll notice that a lot of times I kind of have an idea where it's going, but it's okay that I don't know exactly what's going to happen. Ideas will come to me, and if I look at this kind of stuff, I can generally come up with a word. A word will make my memory work. So I've got lark, Clark, Mark, shark, dark, arc, narc, stark, Clark, spark, dark. Alright, do I have anything in the other ones that looks pretty good? Because most of it's just mark. Ooh, matriarch might work. Or that would also give me patriarch. Okay, so I'm going to play around with this idea of matriarch and patriarch. I want to end this one with park, I think. In which a person was fed to a bear. Now that line doesn't work really well. It doesn't sound like the other ones, but that's okay. This is a first draft. And as you can tell, as I'm writing, I erase things and I complete things all of the time. Writing is wonderful because you have the ability to cross things out when you don't like it. And my poems and my work, generally when I'm working on them for a first time, are pretty sloppy. And there's problems with it. There you go. In which a person was fed to a bear. A sacrifice was needed to hear a prayer in which a person was fed to a bear. I'm gonna write a line that's not part of this. It has the word park in it. That doesn't necessarily end with park. I just want to see what happens. So, because park might be the word I want, but it might not be the word I want. I need a synonym for her sacrifice. Synonym. And it's okay to look at things. Headcomb, offering, oblong, Slaughter, slaughter. Doop, 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 doop. More similar words. From gift. All right. All right. Cool. Okay. Not exactly what I wanted to have happen, and I did not expect this particular poem to go with it. I generally have silly poems, but I wrote a poem. Is it a great poem? No. Could I make it better? Absolutely. Do you want to see me go through 7 drafts of this thing? No. But this is the process in which you can probably work. And if you want to work with different words, or you want to, like, this would have been 1,000 times easier had I just decided that I wanted them all to end in the same word, the same letter, because then I'd have words that rhymed. And then I just had to make things work around it. But I made it hard. This is pretty difficult. And that's fine. Push yourself. Or I could have pressed the button again when I saw certain words in there and went, no. Or maybe I could have taken, say, 15 random words and chosen the 8 that I thought would be the most easy to use. I don't really care what you do with that, but I do want you to have some randomness in this. This caused me to have to think. This pushed me out of my comfort zone, which means that I had to be creative. And that's the point. It's creative writing. So this is about how it goes. In ancient times, being card of the fold, one must observe the design of cruel gods of old. The gods demanded swift compensation to fulfill the requirement of placation. A sacrifice was needed to hear a prayer in which a person was fed to a bear, and when the offering was left inside of a park, and he gave his life to the matriarch. It works. It's a poem. It's an 8-line poem. There's about 80 syllables in it. There are 8 words in there that were randomly generated, and I had to think my butt off to get there. So what I want you to do is I want you to do 2 of these. You can do level 1, level 2, level 3. You can go, this is about as hard as it gets, where I decided I was going to try to go for something that was similar. I didn't quite get iambic pentameter on there. It's close. I have one line that doesn't quite fit. A couple lines that don't quite fit. I was trying to get something close to iambic pentameter, and I had some hard words, and I wasn't really sure how I was going to get the word. Park was actually a really hard one for me to figure out how to work with, but it also gave me the idea. So that's what you're going to be doing today. Choose whatever level 1, level 2, level 3. Maybe do level 1 and a level 2. Maybe do level 2 and a level 3. Maybe you do 2 level 2s. However you want to do that. Randomly generate some words and play around with it. You are completely free to randomly generate new words if you go out, look at it, and you go, oh dear. That is completely fine. And you are allowed to randomly generate, say, 12 words, and then choose 6 of them, or 4 of them, or 8 of them. So you don't end up really having to push it too much. Please, 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 please use things like the rhyming dictionary or a thesaurus. I forgot to pull up a thesaurus. But thesauruses are great. I use them all of the time, and that kind of helped me to figure out a word that I could throw in there that would work. And the rhyming dictionary helped give me ideas. So play around with this, have some fun with this. If they end up being amazing poems, that's awesome. If they end up being weird poems, that's awesome. If they end up being poems that aren't that great, that's still awesome. All I want you to do, what I am caring about here, is the process. I want you to go through the process. I want you to be in a place that's a little bit uncomfortable as far as like writing things. I want you to get out of your comfort zone. I want you to have to be creative. I'm as hard as it kind of was, having to do that with stuff that was not my general cup of tea, because I just wanted to make it silly, and I kind of did a little bit, especially with the bear. It was hard to make it silly with some of the words that I got. And I didn't mean to write a poem about human sacrifice, but those were what came out of the words that I got. And that's kind of the cool thing. Creativity happens when if you are forced into a little bit of box and you have to think your way around that box, that forces you to be creative. And that's when the juices start flowing as far as like that creative thought goes. And that's when you'll oftentimes surprise yourself with what you can do. All right, that's about it for today. Have fun with this. Work on them over the weekend if you have to. Don't over, like, if it's, this is not the best poem in the world. This is a moderately okay poem. It's about the process. When you do this, there's a Word document. There's a Google Doc that I have. I'm going to want to know what level, I'm going to want to know what words you used. And I'm going to want the poem and whatnot in there. So just follow that thing and you'll be fine. That's about it for today. I hope that wasn't too boring and that my poem's not greatness is okay with you. I'm excited to see what you guys come up with. You are always very, very clever people. All right. See you guys. Miss you. Bye.